Hi, welcome back to another Insider. We continue this month of March and we talk business. I started last week with the very first approach to when you start a business, and obviously I have said that email. So for that you have to have the hosting and your domain going on. So you have your email set up and all that sort of stuff. Of course, you have to do your business plan. You have to see all your expenses, all the things you need for the business, etc. Create the logo. That is all covered in my business course, as you know, business course for translators in my school at Itchable. This week, we continue our business march, and we are going to focus solely on the website. What do you need in terms of website? We'll talk about templates, we'll talk about plugins, translation, of course. So come with me and let's see how we can get a professional looking website for our business. So let's talk about websites and how we can create our website properly. Last week, we spoke about the very start with the hosting service, with the domain. So we already have our hosting, we already have our domain, we set up our email accounts. All that is covered. Now we are going to focus on our website. As I know, you have two options. Obviously, I will recommend one of them, which I'm going to talk about now, which is install a program called Local by Flywheel and build your website locally in your machine, and then you can migrate your website to the live environment. The reason being is if you are manipulating the template live, first of all, your clients are going to have, if someone gets access to that website, they're going to get an unfinished product. Most of it will be template, and then they will see content appearing, so it doesn't look good. Secondly, the same thing is going to happen to Google. If Google is trying to index your website, and that's, the bot comes around and starts indexing, it's going to be picking up content that you don't want to. So maybe picking up content that belongs to the template. So it's definitely not what you want to be associated with. That content itself, it's constantly changing. And what it's going to happen is it takes a while for Google to index a website, and it takes a while for Google to get all the information to then present it when you, for your possible clients, if they do a search. So then it will obviously take a while for Google to come back and start picking up the right content. So it's better to have it empty, even on maintenance, but do not manipulate the template live, because it's going to be a little bit of an issue. And then, of course, you don't want things unfinished. Or if something goes wrong and you end up deleting the template and starting all over again, bad things as well. So don't do it. Try to do it locally and then transfer it. Now, choosing the template. Choosing the template is one of the most, if I would say, frustrating, time-consuming part of creating a website. That is because you have an infinity of templates in WordPress, and all of those you can find very good templates, very bad ones. You can find all sorts of templates. You can go and search. You can actually insert keywords that you may think for your website, what type of pages could possibly suit you. For example, you can put freelance, even though I tell you to stay away from that name, stay away from being associated with freelancing, because prices go down. Unfortunately, by the way. And but you can put freelance, you can put professional services, you can put, for example, businesses, you can put small businesses, you can put language page or language services. I tried a lot of these keywords. Some give me templates, some may not give you templates. It depends on when you're doing your research, if there is any template that fits, or if the person that created that template set up those keywords or not. So there is an infinity of templates, there is an infinity of things. Think outside the box. Don't just go for the translation. In fact, I think if you just put translation, they will just you will just get templates that are translation ready. It's not for translation businesses itself. Or at least this has been my experience while building my websites. So I totally stopped using that keyword, because obviously I'm not going to find anything, or I tried it a few times and nothing came up that I thought it was decent for me. So if you set some keywords, think outside the box, be creative with things. It doesn't really need to be like business. It doesn't really need, sometimes it can be something that it's not exactly in this industry, or it's not exactly the type of business that you have, but it has a decent template. It has something that you can make your own, that you can manipulate and make it look good for your business. So think outside the box. Another thing that I recommend is, when you're looking for those templates, first, I have already mentioned this, Elementor. Elementor is a page builder. Everyone, or almost everyone that works with WordPress, loves Elementor and uses Elementor. In fact, a lot of templates these days are already built with Elementor. I remember when I started building websites, it was at the very beginning, and I had to put all the Elementor things. Now, a lot of templates are already built with Elementor, so things change along the way. But a lot of templates are built with WP or WordPress blocks, which by no means, if you like it, use it. I think it is the most confusing, the most complicated and unpractical system, because basically it's like you are creating a blog, right? And you put your content, but every paragraph, so to speak, it will be a block, and it's a mess. I tried to work with it, thinking, okay, it might just be that I'm not used to it, and once I get used to it, I might actually like it. But I tried it, I gave it a go, and honestly, I lost my time. So when I see a template that is done on WordPress blocks, if it's Elementor compatible and there is ways of me changing, okay, I might go ahead with it. But if it doesn't, I just stay away from it. So another thing, be aware of that, if it's Elementor compatible or if it's already built on Elementor, then it's good to go. Another thing, your WooCommerce, another very important part here. If you are planning, for example, to receive payments through your website, which I don't think as translators we would, then go ahead and choose a template that is WooCommerce ready. But if you are not planning to receive payments through your website, stay away from those. The reason being is, once you start manipulating the template, the first thing you have to do is remove the WooCommerce plugin. So you remove all the pages, like the cart page, the payment page, all of those things you have to remove. because obviously the product page, the cart page, all of those things that refer to the shop part of the website need to be removed, because your website won't be a shop. And once you do that, once you remove the WooCommerce plugin, chances are you're going to break the site somehow. And then you want to manipulate the site. You want to do other sections in the website, other parts of the other pages even, and it will create all sorts of conflicts. It will create all sorts of problems. Believe me, I've been there. That's why I'm here. If I can share with you my failures, my successes, chances are you will avoid the failures. That's my aim, and I'm sticking to it. So if you are not planning to receive any payments, stay away from that WooCommerce plugin or those templates that are WooCommerce ready or they are aimed for shops, because it can create problems. So choose a suitable template. I know it's going to be time consuming. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it or paint it all in pink and roses, because that's not going to be the case. It's going to be time consuming. It's going to be a bit boring. I have to admit, it's going to be a bit boring, because it takes you forever, and then you might have to install that template, start doing a few things, and then you say, nah, this cannot work for me because I cannot manipulate it properly, and then you have to delete it and start again and again and again. I'm telling you, every single time I need to install a new version of my website, it stays sometimes weeks that it takes me until I choose the template that I start manipulating. Another thing you need to understand is if it's translation ready, if the template itself allows you to get a translation plugin, so you then can put the language switches and all that sort of thing that you obviously might need as a translation entrepreneur. So template, main thing. This is what you should think about. Then plugins. Have a list of the plugins that you think you might need. For example, do you need tables? For example, I do for my price list. So choose a plugin for the tables. For your forms, are you happy with the form that the template offers you, or would you like to make one on your own and look at more like yours with other information that you want to collect? If that's the case, choose a plugin for those forms. All of this you need to think about. The translation plugin, there's plenty of translation plugins, and be aware, when I say translation plugins, it does not mean that you install the plugin and the plugin translates your site. You would not want that, because you do not want to have a website that belongs to a language professional to a translation entrepreneur, translated by machine translation with lots of errors. You don't want that, because obviously it would give you a very bad reputation. So what you need is a plugin that allows you to translate the website. I will use one that allows me to link the pages. For example, if I'm creating my own page in English, using that plugin, it has a little section in the back end where I can insert the name of the page, the equivalent page in Portuguese, and then it goes, I click on the plus sign, and it opens another page that I have to recreate again the name, and I will obviously manipulate that template. And when I open it in Elementor, it would open exactly the same page as the English version. I just have to translate it. This is what you want. And then, for example, when my clients go and see my home page. If they want to visit my home page in Portuguese, they click on the Portuguese flag and then they go and visit the website in Portuguese. So this is what you want. The plugin makes that connection. The plugin should be there to allow every single page to be connected in the two languages. So if a particular client is in one of your pages and wants to check the same page in the other language, they click on the language switch and they have that page exactly where they were. It doesn't go to the home page, it doesn't go anywhere else, it just goes to the same page or post if you have a blog. Another thing you have to consider, are you going to have a blog? Most, or I would say all templates have that blog facility. If you don't want a blog, you just don't set it up. That's fine. It's totally fine. And you won't, I don't think you would create most of the problems. So you have your plugins. You need to know the plugins that you need. You need to know all of those things, and then you can start. In my course, I give you all the list of plugins that I use, and I tell you exactly how you can use them, how you can set them up. So, you know, you can go at Teachable, at my Updated Words Learning, at Teachable, my school. I'm going to leave the link below. You can just sign in for the course, business course for translators, or if you prefer, you can go for the full business program, and you have my choosing the right qualifications as translators and the business course just all in one, and a few mentoring sessions with me. Those mentoring sections can be used to, for example, get some tips on the website, or have a look, share screens and see what you're doing. Or you can also, obviously, if you are starting and if you want a full program with your tools, etc., you can go for the full mentoring program, and you have all my 3 translation courses and mentoring sessions with me as well. So everything is there. I'm leaving the link below for my school. So this is what you need. Just in hindsight, this is what you need for your website. Make sure you choose the right template. Make sure you choose the right plugins. And again, when you're choosing your plugins, make sure you use the same line of thought that you use for the template. Plugins that have been reviewed and have good reviews, plugins that have been upgraded recently and have lots of upgrades, plugins that are used by a lot of people. If they are used by a lot of users, if they have good reviews, if they are regularly upgraded, then you're good to go. If you see that there's not many users using that plugin, if they have not been upgraded for a very long time, chances are it may not be compatible with your version of PHP or even WordPress, and that may be causing problems. So make sure you know all of this. And of course, all of the translation issue, make sure you choose the right plugin. There's plenty of plugins for translation. Just have one that suits you. Some have paid versions, others don't. Some have an initial free version if you have, for example, just one language translated. Others, if you have to have it in multiple languages, then you have to go for the paid version. That's another thing you have to consider. How many languages are you working with? How many languages do you need in your website? For example, in my case, I only have 2 because I work only with English and Portuguese. So I have the 2 languages. But for example, if you work with more than one language, you would have to have your website in all the languages that you work with. I would say that that is something you really need to do. So make sure you know all these things so you start with confidence. Once you pass that barrier of the template, as I said, it's the worst part of building a website because it's where you spend lots of hours just trying to choose one template. Then the plugins, you have all your content, if you have all your content thought out before you start manipulating the template, it's easier because then it's basically just copying and paste. If you have all your website, for example, set up in a Word file and you put page such and such, section such and such, and you have all the content there, then you just have to copy, paste on your Elementor window, and there you go, you have it. So make sure you have everything organized, because the more organized you are, the more planning you put into things, the smoothest run you will have. So this is my tips for website. You can always access my courses, and of course you can always ask me any questions in the section, comment section below, and I'll be very, very happy to accommodate it. Having a website is not complicated. You don't have to have a very far-fetched, complicated website. That's not what brings you the best clients. If you have a simple website, if you provide all the information about your business to your clients, if you are simple, honest, I think that's what you need to be. Have all the information about your business, all your services. What are you? What's your aim? What is your mission? What do you want to do? What services do you provide? Your pricing. I know a lot of translators don't refuse to put pricing in their website. I chose to have it. That's totally up to you. A nice contact form. Have all that information available so your clients obviously know. And as I said, this is your first point of contact. There's where all the information about your business must be. Don't update your social media pages and everywhere else and leave your website outdated, because that gives you a very, very unprofessional outlook. People may find you on social media. People may see what you're doing on social media. But sometimes, and if you're talking about corporate clients, chances are they are going to go and check your website to see what is in there. So first of all, you have to have one. And secondly, it has to be updated. It has to have the latest information about your business. Everything must be there. And please don't leave the contact information in blank with a template example, because that is horrible. That is really unprofessional, and that will obviously put away a lot of customers that may go to your website, want to contact you, but you don't have a contact there. So please, this is in regards to that situation I told you last week. You may be a very good professional. You may be a extremely good person, and you may be trying to run your business. But if you make these silly mistakes, it may be costing you a lot of clients, and it's a shame, because sometimes it's a very good professional behind that website that is just doing this silly mistake, maybe not paying attention to a tiny detail. When you run a business, you really need to be paying attention to detail. You really need to be on top of every detail of your business, every detail of everything, because if you want to run a business and if you want to run a business efficiently, you really need to pay attention to detail. And that is one of the things that cannot fail. You need to have a contact. Okay, you may have the contact form. If you just want to have a contact form and not having email or anything else, then delete that area where the template has a space for you to insert your email. If you don't want to insert your socials on your website, if you don't have them, which I think is really strange, because if you have a business, I would say you have to have some presence in social media, not all platforms, but some, and we will talk about that during this business march. And if you're not going to put it there, that's fine, totally fine, up to you. I would say you miss out on some things if you don't put it there, but if you decide not to, all right, just delete it from the template. Don't have information that is not linked to something. If the client is going to click on, for example, the Facebook logo, and instead of going to your page, they're just going to go to a sign-in page for Facebook, they're going to think, oh, wow, what's this? Or Instagram or whatever social media platform may be. So please, this is something that is essential to your business. Don't have unlinked things on your website. If you have a link that goes somewhere, if you are happy to link it, link it. If you're not happy to link it, or if you don't have a link for it, delete it. Simple as that. Have the real information on your website. Simple information on your website. Doesn't need to be far-fetched, doesn't need to be overly complicated. That's not the point of a website. In fact, the simplest, the best. It needs to be easy to navigate. Your clients need to be able to access all the information about you in a few clicks. If they, it's actually a statistical thing. If your clients need to spend 30 minutes or 10 minutes just to find one thing in your website, they will give up and go somewhere else. It's a given. I was taught that when I did my WordPress course. I was taught that even when I was doing my translation course. So simple, make it simple. Few pages, a menu where a client can access straight away what it is. These days, the home pages have a lot of information, so you can start with a lot of information, and then if the client needs to elaborate on that, if they want to get more information on that, they can click on continue or can click on that page and go and check for the full information. But make it simple. A few clicks and your client should be able to access what they want. If they have to go to page such and such, and then such and such, and then such and such, they're going to give up and you're going to lose a client. So make it simple. Make it simple. Fill in everything that you want to fill in. If you don't, delete it. As I said, having a menu of social media, so your socials menu there with all the logos of these platforms that link to nowhere, they are going to link either on a void or are going to link to the main page of that particular platform for someone who wants to sign up. It's very, very unprofessional looking. So don't do it. If you don't want to put your email, and I understand that because of scamming and all of that, just delete the part that has your email. Simple as that. Or write it down in a way that cannot be phished, which I think these days is kind of complicated. So your contact form may solve the issue with the email. Fine. If you don't want to put the location, chances are, for example, for translators, we run our business from our home. And of course, we are not going to put our home address in our website. It wouldn't be appropriate. So therefore, you cannot obviously put, I have my suburb. I work from Hornsby in New South Wales. It's one of the suburbs of Sydney metro area. I have Hornsby on my website. Clients know that I'm located in Hornsby. They don't know exactly my address because I don't want to provide them that, but they know that I am in Hornsby. For example, I already had a few clients that were from Hornsby or were from the North Shore of Sydney because they saw that I was from the North Shore. They saw that I was local. So it is kind of important to put that there. So it gives your client a location outlook. You don't really need to put your home address if you have or if you run your business from home, which is the case for most of us. If you have a physical address, a physical business address, if you have an office, and if you are happy to receive clients through that office, if you have a door open that they can come in and talk to you directly, then by no means you have to put that address so your clients can go and contact you there. So this is the main things that you need to bear in mind if you are doing your website. This is the information that you need to do, and you need to decide what you want to do and what you want to put in there or what you do not want to put in there. And if you don't want to put in there, don't leave any links in blank. Don't leave anything that your client may go and eat at their hand, because that will will give your client that perception that you're really not serious about your business, it's really unprofessional, and they would walk away and look for someone else. This is something that I think is very important. So I decided to talk about this thing about a website. You know, I have my course. You can have all of this information, all the plugins, everything that I use through my course, where I also teach you how you build your website with the plugins, with everything, create that plan, because that is part of your business plan. The website, everything, all of this is part of your business plan when you start your business. You need to have this. And then, of course, remember, every 3 years, maximum 3 years, you have to refresh your website. You have to create a new website, a new version of your website, because if your clients go there and it's constantly the same content, it's constantly the same website, it will look abandoned, it will look old, outdated, tired, and they will think maybe this person is not in business anymore. I don't need to come to their webpage anymore because it's always the same. So you need to refresh it every 3 years. If you change anything on your business, for example, your pricing, chances are you might change your pricing every year. You have to go to your website. If you have your price list, you have to go there and update it immediately. If there's any changes, for example, in my case, I need to put the price for packaging, for posting, I would say, because I have those little envelopes from Australia Post Express. That's how I send certified translations to my clients. And of course, on that part of my price list, I'm dependent of Australia Post. And usually Australia Post update their pricing around September, October. So I need to go there around that time and see what is the new pricing that Australia Post has set up for those envelopes, so I can charge the fair pricing to my clients. It's not me making the price, it's Australia Post, and therefore I need to always look for Australia Post pricing to put in there to make sure that I'm not charging the wrong price. Because if Australia Post reviews their pricing and, for example, put it up, I will be in a loss, and then I won't be able to charge what I paid, because on my price list, I still have the old price, and that's the price the client knows, and that's the price the client is gonna be charged for, because that's the honest thing to do. So bear in mind this. If there's anything that it's not totally dependent on you, like for example this case with the Australia Post envelopes, that you need to update in your website, make sure as soon as you come in contact with that information and that information changes, first place to change is your website, and then you can change it everywhere else. But first thing, website. That needs to be the first thing to be updated and the first thing to have all the information about your business, because it's like your shop front. It's like your company, even though you're not one, but it's like your company. So for today, I hope you liked this video today about websites. I hope it helped you understand the importance of a website for any business. And I hope you help you realize that it doesn't need to be difficult, it doesn't need to be far-fetched or anything like that. Something simple will do, and will make a difference in your business and the way you are perceived in the business community, and obviously by possible clients. But of course, you know that you can find everything you need to know about this on my courses, at my school, Updated Words Learning at Teachable. And you have the business course for translators if you are already established, if you have all the setup done in terms of qualifications and starting out, if you have that already set up, or if you are just wanting to take your business or your existing business to another level, you can just sign up for the business course for translators, where I give you a full insight on creating your business plan, from setting up your finances, knowing exactly what expenses you're going to need, those first the starting expenses with a website, with possible marketing if you have a budget, setting your budget, setting your tools, everything that you need to get that business plan going. I'll talk about building the website in detail. I even show you a bit of my website as well. And of course, creating your own tools, which then I also created a course with that in detail, where I actually teach you step by step how you can create your own tools. So, go and have a look. I'll put the link below. Have a look at my school, and I've got 3 magnificent courses. You can sign up for each one of them individually, or you can get one of my plans. I've got the business plan, where you have the business course for translators and the tools and a few mentoring sessions with me. You have the pro plan, where you can have the qualifications course and the business course, and you have the full mentoring program, where you have my 3 translation related courses and mentoring sessions with me. So, and of course, if you want to learn Portuguese as a second language, I also offer a Portuguese as a second language course for children. At the moment, I've got just the children version of this course, but stay tuned, watch this space, because I am preparing the adult version of this course that will be catering for adults. So, go to my school, have a look. I've got plenty of courses there. There'll be more plans, so I'll leave the link below. And in regards to this video, if you have any questions about the website, about the business, or otherwise, if you have any questions, please drop me a line in the comments below, and I'll be very, very happy to answer you. And of course, I keep on asking this: put a like in the video and subscribe the channel with a little click on the bell, so you get a notification of a new insider every week. As I said before, a lot of you come and watch my videos and don't put a like or subscribe the channel. That's fine, but the thing is, if you did, and it's totally free, it would help my channel grow, and it would also help other people to find it, because the YouTube algorithm would pick up that I'm having more subscribers and more views, and will present my content to more people. So please, if you like my content, if you like this video or other videos you've been watching from me, please put a like and subscribe the channel. If you can, just comment, put a comment, ask a question, tell me your opinion, your suggestion, whatever it might be. I'll be really, really, really deeply appreciative of anything that can come my way. And of course, before I go, I would like to thank you all for watching. I see you next week with more Business March. So stay tuned. I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.